Before we begin, I just want to say that I know the glare in my glasses is pretty bad, but that kind of thing is almost impossible to fix in post, and I am too lazy to refilm it. So you're just gonna have to deal with it because I look really hot in natural lighting and the window is in my glasses. Thank you.
Hey there. I realize that I sound and look a little different to you from my last video, but I promise you that I am still me. 4 months on hormone replacement therapy right now, and I still can't believe it's real. It's been great. It's been a little over a year since my last video because I've been busy in college and spending time with people I care about. I've met some amazing new trans friends who actually understand what I'm going through, and it's refreshing. It's like a breath of fresh air. I'm doing really good so far. My professors I met are amazing. They suggested this new camera to me, and I love my new camera so much. I want to kiss her. I think I'm gonna name her Deb. On a separate note, I visited the RTV room recently. I was dreading it a little bit walking into high school, but I'm really glad that I did. I haven't really kept up with the latest episodes of the show, but I try and stay tuned with Bob and what's going on in the studio. In short, I was happy to be back. I got the chance to tell these students what I thought that they needed to hear. I believe that high school students have a lot of potential and that they just need to find the pathway to expand that. And I was fortunate enough to have my RTV classes with students who were able to do that. When I was speaking in my class, I saw another student, a young student who I thought may have been transmasculine as well. And I hope that I was able to inspire them, and I hope that high school is still not miserable for trans youth today. Whenever I open my phone, I am just devastated because I see another bill or proposal that tries to take away everything that we have fought for. I want to pursue a career in media, but I feel sometimes as if the media is my enemy because it's spreading a lot of things about trans people right now that are just not true. First of all, there is not a single school pushing this woke agenda I have seen in the media so much today. The only thing I've seen in high school is an option for a different name that you would like to go by and pronouns, which are optional. You don't have to do that. And this small change is life-saving for many students. Most teachers would actually mess up my pronouns a lot, but the fact that there was just one teacher that I could rely on really improved my high school experience. Now, people are twisting this as some sort of war against teachers for just making kids' lives a little bit easier, as if teachers haven't had things rough enough already. And I'm going to be honest, if I wasn't allowed to put Ryan Pashy in my stories that I made in high school, I probably would have made none of them at all. The second thing that I need to clarify is that this is not a trend. Being transgender is not hip, cool, or the new thing. It's just been more acceptable for us to come out lately. If a kid came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about transitioning," I wouldn't just whip out the HRT gun like, bam, well, one of us. No, it doesn't work that way. I would say, hey, this can save your life, but I'm just going to tell you, your life is going to be hard. This is one of the most beautiful but painful journeys that you could ever go through. But what matters is that you make it out alive. And the thought process behind these kids isn't, hey, I think it would make me cool or interesting to be a boy. No, it's, if I can't live my life as a boy, I don't want to live at all. And this is why it seems so sudden now, because back then, people either didn't know what it wasn't acceptable for them to come out, or they died as a result. I really wanted this to be a cheerful update video on how I'm doing, but I have to say something about this, because gender-affirming care for youth has officially been banned in Indiana, where I live. People might not think about it, but this creates some problems. Kids already on HRT now have to go out of state for their medicine they are prescribed, but they can't drive or move because, well, they're kids. And suddenly stopping these hormones isn't healthy either. What a lot of people don't take into account is that this medicine is suicide prevention, approved by more than 20 medical organizations in the United States. This is not liberal propaganda. This is science and mental health treatment. Not to mention, many side effects from HRT are reversible or can be treated afterwards if someone changes their mind. So, I have to ask, is this a real problem in America that requires legislation? Or does it just make people uncomfortable? In fact, in America, is there anything that should be more important to people than human rights and freedom over themselves and their bodies? Is it money, power, fame, a military-grade firearm with fries and a drink? I don't know. And the problem is that many people probably tuned out as soon as I started talking about trans rights. And surprisingly, I don't even blame them either. Reality is rough. It's ugly. And people don't want to see that shit. They only want to see the funny or interesting videos on their feed. And I understand that. I'm guilty of that as well. But it would be my dying wish that by making people uncomfortable and talking about the ugly, that I could possibly change a few minds and provide a different perspective. What we really need right now is empathy. Providing empathy doesn't mean you agree with it or even understand it. It means that you have the selflessness in you to perceive a different perspective as if it were your own and listen. And I don't just mean being heard. I mean listening as in taking this opposing view into account and giving it your respect. Because believe it or not, we all deserve some level of respect. If you'd like to track the anti-trans legislation in the US or donate to help fight it, I provided links below. And thank you for listening.